this story is hilarious. You sent this to me last night. I have no idea if it's true, but I'm just gonna believe it because I want to believe it's true. Obviously, Diddy used to be the most famous inmate at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, but he is no longer the most famous person there, and he's really mad about it. Ever since Luigi arrived...
He said he's throwing tantrums.
He's been a sensation among the other inmates, and they're just fawning over him. Even though Diddy is forced to be in the general population, Luigi is in protective custody, and he's getting all of this positive attention. He's the most popular inmate at the prison, and Diddy is pressed. And this is just so petty to think about them having beef over popularity contests in jail, but it sounds like Diddy. A source told the Daily Mail Diddy has been throwing tantrums over the fact that Luigi is getting all of the attention in prison and is being revered as a hero after literally murdering someone on camera. Even in prison, Diddy's ego is bigger than life. And they also interviewed a former member of what they call Diddy's inner circle, who was recently financially cut off. He told the Post, he always wants to be the center of everything. If he feels like anyone takes his attention, he doesn't take it well. He gets pissed off, and if he has the power to do it, he makes the other person's life miserable. He's going to have Luigi on his shit list. He has to be the biggest star everywhere he goes. It's all that matters to him.
Do you think he's the type of dude where, like, his friend comes over and is like, man, I had such a bad day. He's like, oh, man, my day was even worse.
Yeah.
He's that dude.
Yeah.
He's always got to one-up you.
Yeah, definitely. You're like, you're the man, bro. You're the man.
This makes me think about, those memes where they compare public schools to jails. The lunch is the same. You go
the yard.
You got
recess.
rec time. Mm-hmm. Well, this just makes me believe it even more that they're just having these high school little like temper tantrums.
And Luigi is the one getting all the love letters from these hybristophiliac women, and they're making fan cams of him.
It's just a battle of
Diddy
the jocks,
has no
dude.
love.
Diddy's asking how he can get abs like that.
Yeah.
To be fair, I then saw another article from Us Weekly that said that this is apparently not true. The funny thing about all of these articles is that it doesn't matter because it's always anonymous sources. And I don't even believe that half the time most of these things are even real. I think that most of these journalists are probably just creative writing majors who are like, if I don't even have to list a real source, who cares? It's not like I'm going to get subpoenaed for this.
Right. But I just think the most entertaining outcome is the fake news story, so I'm going to believe the fake news.
I literally said we have to cover this because the thumbnail would be
Who
hilarious.
is the inside source?
Yeah.
A security guard?
Yeah.
Like,
well, okay, but to be fair, like TMZ somehow gets footage of Diddy beating Cassie in a hotel lobby. These people have sources.
TMZ is the only three-letter agency we trust here on this podcast.
Yes, 30 Miles
obviously.
Zone.
They do real journalistic work, and they take it less seriously than everyone else does.
Mary was saying yesterday, she's like, I just love the way that they write so unseriously.
Yeah, no one else is doing it like TMZ, really.
Well,
and they have all the first stories.
And it's not that crazy. Like, we've got Elad who does our on-the-ground reporting, and, before he worked here, he had contacts at all the major networks, and basically he'd sell to the highest bidder. Mm-hmm. So, like, TMZ's got its, like, list of people that have access in certain places. The Ryan Long bit about selling, like, he films all the riots and he sells like the footage of the cops beating people to CNN and the footage of the rioters beating people to Fox News.
I didn't know that was his side hustle. Or is that his main hustle?
No, it was a comedy bit where he's like, when the cops start beating the rioters, I just sell that to CNN.
No, but those people do exist.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Not hard to believe at all. But what does it mean that a grown-ass 55-year-old man is throwing tantrums? What does that look like?
And what does it look like in his cell? He's like, he starts
like
beating
smearing
the side
shit on the walls. Like, I don't
God.
understand.
He refuses to eat.
And he has his shit list that's written in chalk.
Like
on his cell.
I thought you were gonna say it was written in poo.
It's not like Luigi could have cut in front of him in the lunch line because they're housed in separate areas.
But you know what I think this is? I think Diddy has a secret crush on Luigi. That's what this is really about. He's a jilted, he has an unrequited affection for Luigi.
We did put a poll up, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta pardon one. Who do you pardon? The reason I even thought that this was okay to put up, did you see some of those people that Biden commuted the sentences of? Like absolutely evil people. So if you think it's outside of the realm of possibility, like I wouldn't be surprised if like one day he gets commuted and then Eric Adams like, here's your key to New York back, like under the table. He's like, oh, here you go. Right now Luigi is winning with 62% of the vote, but it's gone back and forth a couple of times.
Interesting.
You know how they make like wine in the toilets in prisons? You think Diddy's making lube in his toilet?
Prison lube.
He's like saving Crisco every time they're at dinner.
They're like, meatloaf night, yes.
Oh man.
Oh, I was so much happier before I.
Why'd you have to put that thought in my mind?
Before I heard that, that's
because you gotta. I mean, you gotta assume Diddy's what, 55?
Yes.
Dude, he's you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so he's gonna do whatever he can to recreate the lifestyle he was living now inside this concrete box.
There was
he's got to find a way.
But he doesn't have the power to threaten people anymore.
Because of Luigi.
Right.
You know, but
he's not the top dog.
But
honestly, I voted Luigi in the poll to pardon because I think he'd be less likely to be a repeat offender. And if the rumors are true, Diddy might have been responsible for more deaths than Luigi.
Also, I guess Luigi's just not as smart because he got caught at a McDonald's with the manifesto and the gun. And
he meant to get caught.
I mean, Diddy was doing what he was doing so blatantly.
But here's the thing, like,
as well.
This happens. So when you look at like the guy Jordan Belfort with the Wolf of Wall Street, where he gets to a certain point where you think you're untouchable, so you become shameless and you don't hide it anymore. And that was Diddy.
Yeah, at a certain point, you're so powerful and you've gotten away with it for so long that you just don't even care. Like, you can't imagine yourself even getting caught.
Yeah. I like the idea that you had. Just have them do a cage match, and whoever wins gets the pardon. You know?
In the yard.
It would be surprisingly a fair match because Luigi, obviously, he has a back problem. Even though he's 30 years younger than Diddy, he would still have a disadvantage there.
I did see that they're like rebooting or reviving. I had a whole argument with somebody the other day. Like, I use reboot as a blanket term. Reboot to me could mean either they're starting the show with the same people or they're making it with new people, even though revival tends to mean that you're bringing the same people back. I don't care. I'm just going to say reboot. They're bringing back Prison Break. Maybe they need to do like a ripped from the headlines storyline where guy who kills healthcare CEO and Hollywood evildoer have to escape prison together.
I'm sure that
like a Shawshank Redemption.
Well, no. If you haven't seen Prison Break, you guys should go watch it.
Good.
It's Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell.
Well, so they're bringing it back for the fourth time?
Yeah, right. So I never watched it past the first one. I only watched the original version.
They had the show.
I never watched the reboot.
They did a special a couple years later. They did another, like maybe 3 years ago. There was a new season. Yeah. So this is just the next season?
I don't know if it's that or if this is a reboot with new characters. I don't know. But
that was a great show.
The point is that original run is fantastic, and they should do that. There was also a show called Breakout Kings, which was like this AMC or one of these like smaller network shows where it's like a group of it's the most unrealistic thing you've ever seen. It's like a group of criminals who get hired by the government to like catch people who broke out of prison. Like, how often do people actually break out of prison? Is this happening on a regular basis? But it like they connected it by having some of the characters from Prison Break escape on that show.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Very cool. But yeah, they should do that, and the guy's name can be Pity or something.
Pity.
Pity and Mario.
Yeah, easy.
Either way, maybe Diddy needs to work on his emotional regulation. Like, it's very hard to command respect in the yard when you're throwing a temper tantrum. Somebody get him a rattle. We need G Prime to make a picture of Diddy with like a baby rattle.
Well, he
throwing
said,
a tantrum.
you know, after the video of him beating up Cassie came out, he said, you know, I've gone through a lot of therapy to heal from the person I used to be, and I'm no longer like that. So he just needs more therapy in prison.
BV Luminous in the chat says you're condemning a man based fully on eyebrows that do not match.
Wait,
well, what if there's like a Harley Quinn situation where they're like the prison therapist ends up falling for Diddy or Luigi, and then that's how they break out.
Well, that happens in Prison Break more than they could do that. I would love that. I mean, I don't know if any of those people are as charismatic as Dominic Purcell and Wentworth Miller were in that show, but They could do that. I think that I would like to get, maybe I'll send G Prime a message and see if he can make a picture of Diddy with a baby rattle, like throwing a temper tantrum behind bars. That would be good.
Hey,
He's throwing his toys out the pram.
Do with this information what you will, but I really do believe that some days these writers just wake up and they're like, you know what would be funny?
Yeah.
And he looks around to the writer's room. He's like, I'm writing for like Us Weekly. I don't need to be serious. Like, what if Diddy was like throwing a tantrum because Luigi is more popular? And then they're like, that's good. Run with it. And he's like, yeah, get a source. A source. He's like, I've got a source.
It's like some guy standing outside of the detention center who just came up with it.
Wait and see, guys. All right. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.